Hope that you are listening my voice clearly and you can see the PowerPoint presentation very clearly. Okay, we were discussing about our first chapter of the paper number first diversity of cryptogram. Okay, the first chapter is the viruses. Okay, we were discussing about the viruses. Up till now, we have discussed about the 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 viruses, how the term it was derived, and how the viruses they were discovered. I also discussed the general characters of the viruses in details. Okay, the viruses these are the obligatory parasites. That means the viruses these are completely inert outside the host cell. But once these viruses they enter inside the host cell, they start to multiply. Okay, then the second one is the self-replicating. The viruses they can replicate themselves, and these are non-cellular because generally the living organisms these are having the prokaryotic or the eukaryotic structure, but here the viruses these are having only the two components. Viruses are made up of only the proteins and the nucleic acid. Okay, then also we have discussed regarding the virus sizes and the shapes. Also the viral structure, we were discussing viral structure. Here the viruses these are made up of centrally present genetic material. The genetic material either DNA or RNA is present, and this genetic material it is well protected by the protein coat. That protein coat is called as the capsid, and capsid it is made up of several smaller protein subunits, and these protein subunits are called as the capsomeres. Okay, simply the virus are made up of only two components, centrally placed nucleic acid and the protein code. But there are certain complex viruses in which there is a presence of the another special envelope. Okay, in some of the viruses the protein coat it is surrounded by the envelope, and on the envelope there is a presence of the small projections, and these small projections are called as the spikes. Okay, we have discussed in detail about the nucleic acid, also the protein code present in the viruses, also the general morphology, that is depending upon the morphology there are four groups of the viruses. The first one is the helical virus, then second one is the polyhedral viruses, then third one enveloped viruses we have discussed, and also we have discussed about the complex viruses. Okay, then also we have discussed the classification based on the host, how the viruses these are classified depending on their host range, clinical, epidemiological and pathological symptoms. Okay, and we were about to discuss the structure of the tobacco mosaic virus. Okay, the structure of tobacco mosaic virus. Okay, the structure of tobacco mosaic virus, there is more than 100 types of the viruses these are known, causing the infectious diseases to the different types of the plants. Okay, up till now more than 100 types of the different viruses are discovered which are causing infectious diseases in the plants. Okay, but the tobacco mosaic virus, the virus which is causing the mosaic disease in the tobacco mosaic virus, it is extensively studied in the field as well as in the laboratory. Okay, it is extensively studied in the field as well as in the laboratory. Okay, the tobacco mosaic virus it was discovered by the D. Ivanovsky in the 1892, and it was isolated in the crystallized form by W.N. Stanley in the 1935. Okay, tobacco mosaic virus is the first virus which was isolated in the crystallized form, and it was the first virus which was reported. Okay, and that's why here we are discussing about the tobacco mosaic virus. It was discovered by the T. Ivanovsky in the 1892, and it was isolated and crystallized by W.N. Stanley in the 1935. Okay, for that extensive work, W.M. Stanley was honored with the Nobel Prize in the 1946. Okay, W.M. Stanley, for his extraordinary work, he was honored with the Nobel Prize in the 1946. Okay, the virus in the photograph you can see the tobacco mosaic virus. It appears as a rod or needle shaped. Okay, it is appear as a bundle of rod or the needles. Okay, large number of the rods or the large number of the needles coming together forming the virus. Okay, here the tobacco mosaic virus, it appears as a bundle of rod or the needles under the electron microscope. Okay, here each of the rod it is having the 3000 lambda in length and 170 lambda in diameter. Okay, each of the rod it is having the length 3000 lambda and 170 in the diameter. The molecular weight of the tobacco mosaic virus, it is said to be the 4 lakhs. Okay, the molecular weight is 4 lakhs. Tobacco mosaic virus. The first one is the nucleic acid and another one is the nuclear material. Okay, two components of the tobacco mosaic virus. The one is the protein coat, another one is the material. Okay, here you can see the protein coat. It is made up of 2130 capsules. The protein coat it is made up of 2130. Okay, the protein is made up of smaller protein subunits. Each of the protein subunit is called as the capsomere. That means this protein code capsid it is having about 2130 capsomeres. Okay, then each of the capsomere, okay, suppose this one is one capsomere. Okay, each of the capsomere it is made up of 150 long chain of amino acids and its molecular weight is 18,000. Okay, each of the subunits, suppose this one is a one capsomere. The one capsomere it is made up of about 150 amino acids and the molecular weight it is 18,000. Okay, the capsomeres these are arranged helically, a central single stranded RNA. Okay, here the genetic material is single stranded RNA. That means the tobacco mosaic virus it is a ribovirus. Okay, we have discussed in the last lecture that the viruses these are having either DNA as a genetic material. Okay, here the tobacco mosaic virus it is having the single stranded RNA as a genetic material which is surrounded by the helically arranged helically arranged protein coat. Okay, that means it is a helical virus. Okay, morphologically it is a helical virus. Okay, here the here it consists of about the 6000 nucleotide pair. Okay, the genetic material which is a single stranded RNA, it consists of 6000 nucleotide pairs. Here the protein and the nucleic acid ratio is the 94%, 94.4 is to 5.6. Okay, 94.4 is to 5.6. Okay, this is the protein and the nucleic acid ratio. Okay, then the total length of the each rod it is 130 helicals. Okay, total length of the each rod, that means this is the total length. In this total length 130 helicals are present. Okay, total length of the each rod it is 130 helicals. Okay, and in each of the helix 16.5 protein subunits are present. Okay, in each of the helix 16.5 protein subunits are present, and in each helix of the RNA. Okay, here you can see each of the helix, this is the one helix. Okay, in each helix of the RNA there is a presence of about 59 nucleotides. Okay, in each of the helix there is a presence of 49 nucleotides. Okay, 49 nucleotides present in each of the helix. Okay, the genetic information which is required for the formation of one tobacco mosaic virus particle, it is present in the single stranded RNA. Okay, the complete information necessary for the formation of the complete TMV particle, that means for the multiplication of these wire information सिंगल स्ट्रँडेड RNA. ओके, जेवढी काही इन्फॉर्मेशन त्यांना लागायची नवीन व्हायरस तयार करण्यासाठीची ती पूर्ण जेनेटिक इन्फॉर्मेशन ही त्याचा सिंगल स्ट्रँडेड RNA मध्ये particle, it is present in the RNA. Okay, generally the genetic information, it determines the replication of RNA, a sequence of amino acids in protein subunits of the protein capsid. Okay, it determines the replication of RNA and the sequence of amino acids in the protein subunits of the protein capsid. Okay, then here in the tobacco mosaic virus, the all the subunits, all the capsomeres, these are made up of these are all identical. That means these are made up of only one type of the protein. That means one coded gene is required for the formation of all capsomeres. Okay, always remember that in the tobacco mosaic virus, all the subunits, all the capsomeres, these are made up of identical protein. These are made up of identical protein, and that's why we can say that the only one red gene is required for the formation of all the capsomeres. ठीक आहे, लक्षात आलं. जेवढे काही कॅप्सोमियर्स आहेत टोबॅको मोझॅक व्हायरस मध्ये, ते सगळे आयडेंटिकल प्रोटीन पासून किंवा एकाच प्रोटीन पासून बनलेले असतात. म्हणजे काय, तर त्या कॅप्सोमियरच्या फॉर्मेशनसाठी फक्त एकच कोडेड जीनची आवश्यकता असते सगळ्या कॅप्सोमियरचं सिंथेसिस करण्यासाठी. ओके, देन इट इज ऑलवेज पॉसिबल टू रिमूव्ह द प्रोटीन कोट फ्रॉम द RNA. Okay, from any virus the protein coat, it can be removed from the RNA. Okay, and that naked RNA, it is capable of the infecting the tobacco plant. Okay, suppose that in the laboratory the protein coat, it is completely removed from the RNA in the tobacco mosaic virus, that then only the RNA, the naked RNA, it is also capable of infecting the tobacco plant. Okay, once this RNA, it invades or it penetrate the host cell, once the genetic material RNA invade or penetrate the host cell, the RNA directs the protein synthesizing apparatus of the host cell to synthesize its own replication. Okay, once the RNA it enters, once the RNA it penetrates the host cell, it will direct the protein synthesizing apparatus of the host cell to synthesize its own protein. ओके, म्हणजे एकदा का हा RNA त्या होस्ट सेलमध्ये पेनेट्रेट झाला, एंटर झाला, की तो काय करतो, त्या होस्ट सेलच्या प्रोटीन सिंथसायझिंग मशिनरीवरती कंट्रोल करतो आणि स्वतःला हवे असणारे प्रोटीन्स तयार करतो आणि काय करतो, तर स्वतःचं रॅप्लिकेशन तो RNA करून घेतो. ओके, that means there are two functions of the RNA in the tobacco mosaic virus. The first one is the self replication, and the another one is the synthesis of the virus specific protein. Okay, synthesis of the virus specific protein. म्हणजे हा RNA काय एकदा होस्ट सेल मध्ये गेल्यानंतर दोन फंक्शन, पहिलं कोणतं, तर स्वतःचं रॅप्लिकेशन करतो आणि दुसरं कोणतं, त्याला हवे असणारे प्रोटीन्स ते तयार करतात. होस्ट सेलला आवश्यक असणारे करत नाही, तर स्वतःला आवश्यक असणारे ते प्रोटीन्स तयार करत असतात. Okay, once the RNA genetic material it penetrates inside the host cell, the RNA it will perform the two functions by taking control on the protein synthesizing machinery of the host cell. The first function is the self replication, and the another function is the synthesis of virus specific protein, for which it takes the raw material from the host cell. Okay, that means for the self replication and for the synthesis of virus specific protein, and for which it takes the raw material for the host from the host cell. Okay, that is all about the ultrastructure of the tobacco mosaic virus. Okay, in the examination, the short note may be asked for the 5 or for the 10 marks as the tobacco mosaic virus. Okay, then you have to first of all draw the diagram of the tobacco mosaic virus, and then you have to write an account on the tobacco mosaic virus. Okay, always remember that that is diagrams, these are the integral part of our syllabus. Okay, whenever the diagram is necessary, whenever in the exam the question is asked and the diagram is required, then you have draw the diagram. You have to draw the well labeled diagram to get the maximum marks. Okay, if you have not drawn the diagram and it is required in the answer, then you will not get the maximum marks. Okay, that's why always remember that the diagrams, well labeled diagrams, are the integral part of our syllabus. Okay, don't neglect to draw the diagrams, okay, while writing the answer in the examination. Okay, here the later on the sources of infection of the tobacco mosaic virus, that is how exactly the tobacco mosaic virus it infects the tobacco plant. Okay, the main source or the chief source of the tobacco mosaic virus, it is the debris of the infected plants in the soil. Okay, the chief source of the tobacco mosaic virus, it is the debris of the infected plants in the soil. Okay, then the tobacco mosaic virus it can be passed to the healthy plant from the infected plant by mechanical means, by mechanical means such as the agricultural implements and the rubbing of infected leaves over the surface of healthy leaves. Okay, the virus it can be passed from the healthy plants to the other plants by mechanical means such as agricultural implements and rubbing of infected leaves over the surface of the healthy leaves. Okay, the virus is highly contagious. Okay, the virus, this is tobacco mosaic it is highly contagious and it can retain the infectivity even after the leaves of the infected tobacco plants have been processed into the smoking tobacco. Okay, the viruses, these are highly, the tobacco mosaic virus, it is highly infectious, it is highly contagious, and it can retain its infectivity even after the infected leaves have been processed into the smoking tobacco. Okay, म्हणजे स्मोकिंग टोबॅको म्हणजे सिगारेट तयार करण्यासाठी जेव्हा ह्या इन्फेक्टेड लिव्हचं प्रोसेसिंग केलं जातं तेव्हा सुद्धा या व्हायरस तो त्याच्यातून जात नाही, कारण त्याची इन्फेक्टिव्हिटी ही खूप जास्त आहे. तो एकदम हायली कॉन्टॅजियस आहे, एकदम एकापासून दुसऱ्याकडे तो खूप लवकर पसरत असतो. ओके, अ पर्सन, फॉर एक्झाम्पल जस्ट वी आर गोइंग इन द पॅन्डेमिक सिच्युएशन, that is for example the coronavirus. Okay, the coronavirus it is highly contagious. Okay, it is infecting the healthy human beings very fast. Okay, that is the person who is infected with the coronavirus. it is highly contagious. It can be spread from the that person to the other persons which come in contact with the infected person. Okay, that's why here the tobacco mosaic virus, it is also highly contagious and highly infectious. Person who has handled such cigarettes, a person who has handling the cigarettes which are made up of infected leaves may transmit the virus to the healthy plants. A person who has handled such infected cigarettes may transmit the virus to the healthy plants. Okay, then also the main aphids, these are also acting as vectors of the viruses. Vectors, that is, these are transporting vehicles. That means these aphids, these are transmitting the virus from the healthy plant to the other plants. Okay, many are the vector of the virus which are transferring the this virus from the infected plant to the healthy plant, so that healthy plants also get infected with this virus. Okay, that is all about the sources of the tobacco mosaic virus. Okay, and here you can see the symptoms, that is how the plant get infected with the virus and what are the symptoms which are caused due to the tobacco mosaic virus. Here you can see the photograph A and the B. Okay, the first visible symptom is the downward curling and the distortion of the young apical leaves. Okay, the first visible symptom of this virus is the downward curling and downward curling and the distortion of young apical leaves. Okay, then one can observe the largest spot of the dark green color which appears on the surface of leaf, which eventually develops into the irregular blistered areas. Okay, the largest spot of the dark green color appears on the surface of leaf, which eventually develops into the irregular blistered areas. Okay, here you can see in the first photograph, that is the large spot of the green color, that is these are the surface of leaf, and which eventually in the photograph B you can see these are turning into the irregular blistered areas. Okay, then the other areas of the leaf also shows the typical yellow and green mottling of mosaic symptoms. Okay, green mottling or the mosaic symptoms. Okay, mosaic म्हणजे काय, तर एक प्रकारचं आर्ट आहे ज्याच्यामध्ये काय की वेगवेगळ्या कलर एकत्र येऊन एक तयार होतं. ओके, मोझाईक म्हणजे ह्याच्यामध्ये काय होतं, येलो आणि ग्रीन कलरचे स्पॉट मिक्स होऊन एक प्रकारचं स्ट्रक्चर तयार होतं, त्याला मोझाईक म्हणतात. मिक्सिंग ऑफ येलो अँड ग्रीन स्पॉट, दॅट इज वी कॉल्ड इट ॲज ए मोझाईक हिअर, अँड दॅट्स वाय disease which is caused by that particular virus, it is called as the tobacco mosaic disease. Okay, that's why it is referred as the tobacco mosaic disease. Okay, and lastly the plants become stunted. Okay, the plants become stunted. Okay, these are the symptoms of the tobacco mosaic virus on the host. Okay, then the multiplication of viruses. Okay, the last article in our syllabus in our first chapter is the multiplication of virus. Okay, multiplication of virus, to multiply the viruses, they must in host cell take over the host metabolic machinery, and thus a single virus can give rise to the thousands of viruses. Okay, the single virus, it can give rise to the number of viruses. Okay, the viruses, these are completely inert outside the host cell. Okay, these are completely inert outside the host cell, but for their multiplication, for their replication, these viruses must invade, must penetrate into the host cell. Okay, the viruses itself, viruses, these are made up of only two components, that is the proteins and the genetic material. Virus itself, these components, these are not sufficient for the synthesis and their replication. Okay, and that's why these are inert outside the host cell. Okay, that is for their replication, for their synthesis, or for their multiplication, the viruses will require the different types of enzymes. Then they will require the ribosomes, tRNA, then energy production. Okay, and after that it will multiply. Okay, it will require the enzymes, ribosomes, tRNA, and the energy productions, and that's why they require the host cell for their multiplication. Okay, that's why they enter into the host cell, and they will use the enzymes, ribosomes, tRNA, and the energy productions of the host cell. Okay, these viruses enters or penetrate into the host cell, takes over the control of these machinery, and then they will single virus, they will form the thousands of viruses. ओके, लक्षात आलं. व्हायरसेस मध्ये फक्त दोन कंपोनंट आहेत, जेनेटिक मटेरियल आणि प्रोटीन. त्यामुळे व्हायरसेस हे जेव्हा होस्ट सेलच्या बाहेर असतात तेव्हा ते मल्टिप्लाय होऊ शकत नाहीत. त्यांना काय हवं असतं, एनर्जी प्रोडक्शन, म्हणजे एनर्जी हवी असते त्यांच्या मल्टिप्लिकेशनसाठी. नंतर प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस करण्यासाठी रायबोझोम्स हवे असतात. नंतर टीआरएनए हवे असतो. नंतर एन्झाइम्स हवे असतात. ओके, त्यामुळे काय, व्हायरसेस मल्टिप्लाय करण्यासाठी त्या होस्ट सेलमध्ये एंट्री करतात. होस्ट सेलमध्ये एंट्री केल्यानंतर त्या होस्ट सेलच्या मेटाबॉलिक मशिनरीवरती ते कंट्रोल करतात आणि एका व्हायरसेस पासून खूप सारे व्हायरसेस ते तयार करत असतात. Okay, that's why the viruses, they can multiply only within the host cell. Okay, then here you can see in the slide there are two alternate methods of the multiplication of the viruses. The first one is the lytic cycle, and the another one is the lysogenic cycle. Okay, there are two alternate methods for the multiplication of the viruses. The first one is the lytic cycle. Lytic, the term lytic, it is made up of lysis. Okay, it is the Greek term. That means the lysis means breakdown. Okay, generally we use the term hydrolysis. Okay, hydro means water and the lysis means the breakdown. Lysis means breakdown. In the lytic cycle, this cycle ends with the death or the lysis of the host cell. Okay, that means when the viruses, they enter into the host cell, the single virus will synthesize the thousands of virus, and later on the death of the host cell or breakdown of host cell takes place, and these thousands of viruses, they get liberated into the outer environment. Okay, that is we call it as a lytic cycle. म्हणजे लक्षात आलं, व्हायरस त्या होस्ट सेल मध्ये एंट्री करतो, एकापासून खूप सारे व्हायरसेस तयार होतात, आणि नंतर त्या होस्ट सेलची कॅपॅसिटी संपल्यानंतर त्या होस्ट सेल रप्चर होतं किंवा त्या होस्ट सेलची डेथ होऊन जाते, आणि सगळे व्हायरसेस हे बाहेरच्या एन्व्हायरमेंट मध्ये बाहेर फेकले जातात. त्या मेथडला म्हणतो लायटिक सायकल. ओके, अँड अनदर वन इज द lysogenic cycle. In the lysogenic cycle, the death of the host cell does not take place. Here, the host cell remains alive. Okay, there are two alternate methods: lytic cycle, which ends with the death or the lysis of host cell, and the second one, the lysogenic cycle, host cell remains alive. Here, the up till now, the multiplication of viruses, it is best described in the multiplication of viruses, it is best described in the complex viruses, that is the bacteriophages. Okay, bacteriophages, phages, phages, phage means to eat. Okay, it is a Latin term. Here the viruses which are infecting the bacteria, these are said to be the bacteriophages. Okay, that's why studying the multiplication of viruses, you should know the structure of the bacteriophages. Okay, the bacteriophages, they were discovered by the F.W. Twart, Twort, in the 1915, and Felix D. Herrelli in the 1917. Okay, bacteriophages, that means the viruses which are infecting the bacterial cell, they were discovered by the F.W. Twart in the 1915 and the Felix de Herrelli in the 1917. Okay, there is hardly any species of bacteria there is hardly any species of bacteria which does not serve as a host to one or more viruses. Okay, it is hardly any species of bacteria which does not serve as a host to one or more viruses. Okay, bacteriophages, these are the obligate parasites find in habitat where bacteria survives. Okay, these are the obligate parasites find in the habitat where the bacteria survives. Okay, generally these bacteriophages, these are very abundant in the soil, then in the sewage, fruits, vegetables, even in the milk. Okay, then intestine in the birds and animals, and also in the human being. Okay, in the intestine of birds, animals, and the human being. Okay, then also these bacteriophages, they may be found in the urine, saliva, pus, or the nasal exudates. Okay, these are found in the urine, saliva, pus, nasal exudates. Okay, then the viruses, that is here in the structure, you can see in this photograph, you can see it is made up of two parts. It is the head region, and long elongated narrow region, it is the neck region. Okay, it is a very small particle which is made up of head and narrow neck when you observe the bacteriophages under the electron microscope. Okay, here head, you can see the head, it is a prismatic hexagonal structure. Okay, it is a prismatic hexagonal structure. Okay, then the extended part between the head and the neck, this extended part, it is small extended part, it is called as the neck. Okay, here it is the tail region. The tail region, it is well protected, well surrounded by the protein coat. In the head region also, the centrally placed nucleic acid is present, and the nucleic acid, it is surrounded by the protein coat. Okay, here the nucleic acid, it may be the double stranded DNA, or the single stranded DNA, or the single stranded RNA. Okay, through the genetic material, it may be double stranded DNA, or the single stranded RNA, or the DNA. Okay, here, then at the end of this tail region, tail, it is well protected by the protein coat. At the end of the tail region, here you can see there is presence of the base plate. In some of the book, you can find this base plate, it is also referred as the tail plate or the end plate. Tail plate or the end plate. And to this tail plate or the end plate, there is a presence of the six pin-like structures. These are called as the tail pins or the tail fibers. Okay, here you can see these are the pin-like structures which are referred as the tail fiber or the tail pins. Okay, there are two functions. There are two functions of these tail pins and the tail plates. The first one, they helps in the adsorption of the phase particle on the surface of bacterium. Okay, here you can see the bacteriophage, these are adsorbed, these are attached to the bacterial cell with the help of the tail plate and the tail pins. Okay, this is the function. The first function of the tail plate and the tail pin is the adsorption or the attachment of the bacteriophage to the host cell. And another function, this tail plate, these are secreting the some kind of lytic enzymes. Lytic enzymes, that means these are breaking the bacterial cell wall, and due to which there is a formation of a small hole in the bacterial cell wall, and ultimately the genetic material, it is get penetrated into the host cell through the small pore which is formed by the lytic enzyme in the bacterial cell wall. ओके, लक्षात आलं. म्हणजे टेल फायबर आणि टेल प्लेटचे दोन फंक्शन आहेत. कोणते? एक तर ते विथ द त्या टेल प्लेट आणि टेल पेनच्या हेल्पनं त्या बॅक्टेरियल सेलला अटॅच होतात. आणि दुसरं फंक्शन काय? हे टेल प्लेट काय करतात? काही लायटिक एन्झाईम सिक्रेट करतात. हे एन्झाईम सिक्रेट झाल्यानंतर काय होतं, त्या सेल वॉलचं जे केमिकल कंपोजिशन आहे ते त्याच्यामध्ये डिझॉल्व्ह होतं, लायसिस होतं त्याचं. आणि नंतर काय होतं, इथे एक स्मॉल पोर तयार होतो त्या बॅक्टेरियल सेल वॉलमध्ये. आणि त्याच्यातून नंतर ज्या बॅक्टेरियोफेजेस मधलं जेनेटिक मटेरियल त्या स्मॉल पोर मधून त्या बॅक्टेरियल सेलमध्ये ते एंट्री करतं. Okay, that is the two most important functions of the tail fibers and the tail plates. Okay, that is all about the structure of the bacteriophages. Bacteriophages, these are made up of two structures, head and the tail. At the end of the tail region there is a presence of the tail plate, and these tail plate, these are bearing the six tail pins or the tail fibers. Okay, I think this is sufficient for today's lecture. Okay, we have discussed about the uh, tobacco mosaic virus, ultrastructure of the tobacco mosaic virus, and also the symptoms of the tobacco mosaic virus. Then also we have discussed the how it get infected from the infected plant to the healthy plant. And also we were discussing about the multiplication of the viruses. Multiplication of the viruses, two alternative methods. The first one is the lytic and the lysogenic cycle. And also, we have discussed the structure of bacteriophages. Okay, that is sufficient for today. In the tomorrow's lecture, we will discuss the actual process of lytic cycle and the lysogenic cycle.